Lawrence Fox tweeted this today. End times. Sounds a bit spicy, doesn't it? Let's watch and see. I think, knowing Lawrence, he's a cut to the chase kind of guy. I think I'll be able to get to the bottom of this in about 5 seconds.
Now, transgender woman's milk is just as good for babies as breast milk.
I bet you didn't see this coming, but I'm going to disagree with Lawrence, and I'll tell you why. I was actually weaned on male breast milk, and I didn't suffer the slightest ill effect from it. As you can see, I'm hale and hearty, and I'm in perfect health. However, I am frequently thrown out of my local bar and restaurant for marching in and demand they prepare me my favourite dish, a pube sandwich. Okay, this is mental. Obviously, it's modern day and it's on the BBC. I've made this point dozens of times over the last 4 or 5 years. When Michael Gove, geggy, pob-looking lackwit that he is, but when he made the point that the British public has had enough of experts, he was right. It's one of the few things he's ever said that was right. And it's because we've been so systematically lied to over the last 20 years, and we've realised that the experts essentially get paid to say what the government tells them to say. So now it's not worth the paper it's printed on. Remember our testicle-headed friend Dr. Fauci told us that if you disagree with him, you disagree with science. Well, Isaac Newton and Michael Faraday would have a few things to say about that. These people aren't experts or scientists that we should listen to anymore. Yeah, you used to listen to them in the 70s and the 80s when the world made sense, but now they're all just fully paid activists. And the science says whatever the maniacs in charge wanted to say. They'd be able to pull a few dozen experts out of their arse to tell you that up is down, left is right, grass is blue and the sky is green. They could do it easily. However, out of morbid curiosity and of course my own side-splitting amusement at the stuff they try to feed us, let's watch the video whereby they're going to explain to us that once again, sorry ladies, bluff old-fashioned blokes like me, we were frequently accused of being sexist and misogynistic because, we open doors for women and offer our girlfriends our jackets when it's cold outside. But apparently that makes you a bad person. But these lunatics who have basically spent the last 10 years pushing an inherently misogynistic movement which constantly cheapens and demeans everything women do and stand for, and replaces it with gobbledygook, or tells us that men are actually better than them at everything, which isn't something that old-fashioned blokes like me ever believed. But you know what I'm talking about. Woman of the Year, that's a bloke. Miss World, that's a bloke. And obviously, now, not only are blokes better at rugby and reverse parking, but apparently our milk's better for them as well. You couldn't make it up, could you? Roll the tape, BBC. Delight me with your stupidity.
Now, transgender woman's milk is just as good for babies as breast milk. That's according to a letter from the medical director at University Hospital Sussex NHS Foundation Trust. The claim was made as part of a response against campaign groups. The trust referred to studies and the World Health Organization guidance, including one case which found what it called no observable effects in babies fed by induced lactation.
Yeah, so it's a university headed by purple-haired, rigger-boot-wearing, stubbly birds who insist that, that everything you thought you knew is wrong, apparently. Definitely worth listening to. Also, you can see there's a vague light behind that woman's eyes who's reading it, because if she's done what so many people of her group tend to do, which is, how can I put this delicately, import someone they're related to marry, right? If she's done that and she got hitched to a particularly conservative adherent of everybody's favourite epileptic desert nomad, I think she's going to get a few digs when she gets home and hubby realises she's been out promoting this type of stuff. Because it's interesting, the only people who are allowed to opt out of full-blown commie indoctrination these days are the adherents of one particular community. They've been allowed to opt out of it, the national curriculum in the UK, in areas like Luton and Bradford and everywhere else, and it's the exact same in the United States. Minnesota School District allows parents to opt children out of LGBTQ lessons after 6 Somalian, we'll just call them Sikhs, threatened legal action over religious freedom. Yeah, so I dare say she'll be getting a bat when she gets home. Anyway, tell us more.
Well, to discuss this in a bit more detail, I'm joined now by Kate Luxian, who is a research fellow in creative global health at the University College London and a lactation consultant trainee.
A lactation consultant trainee, really? You need to be trained how to do that. Also, look at her. Look at the clip of her. A thumb with a face drawn on it. You knew she was going to look like that. Like a granddad cuts her hair. I mean, do you remember when the kids in the council estates used to get picked on because the mum and dad used to cut their hair with a basin over their head? Apparently, well, that'd be like the height of fashion nowadays. Because this lot always look like the granddad cut their hair with garden shears in the dark. They're a walking cliche. If everybody does it, well, then you're not special and unique, are you? If everybody looks the same and you've all got daft hair colours, and you all look like an elderly grandparent cut your hair with left-handed scissors, you're not special and unique, are you? But I'm ranting. Please continue.
I wanted to begin by getting your reaction to what we've heard from the hospital about this.
Of course, and it's actually not very new in terms of a concept or an idea. It's something, as someone who works in LGBT pregnancy and reproduction, that we've known for quite a while. There's studies back in the 90s that talk about the sameness of milk from the birth mother and then the co-lactating mother in terms of 10 days after birth. There's no difference seen there. And when we look at the research that's been done specifically about trans women, there's a case study that was done and published last year where they actually found that the nutritional value was either at or above the nutritional value of then the meta-analysis referent that it used. So using the example of kind of a larger sample of what we look for in breast milk, it was seen to be at least, if not higher of quality.
There you go, ladies. The Bootneck could make better breast milk than you. Unlucky. Unlucky. But don't forget, the people telling you this, spoon-feeding you this warm diarrhea, they're looking out for women, people like me, that simply think, you know, we should go back to the 1980s. We're barbarians who hate women. Yeah, figure that one out. Can you imagine me trying to feed a baby? You've all seen me with my kit off. I had a hairy back when I was 11. The kids started calling me the Ewok when I was in secondary school because I was the only one that had a full-on bush to get in the communal showers, and all the rest of the kids cowered in fear because the rest of them were entirely pubeless and my ballsack looked like Chewbacca making a fist. It was just... So can you imagine a kid trying to get to my nipples? Seriously. We'd need a, what do they call them in America? A weed whacker. How is an infant going to burrow through my coarse, wiry chest hair and get to my manky, crusty nipples through a few thousand matted chest hairs? I don't even know what planet I'm living on anymore. And there's also the obvious one. I don't even know how they make this happen. They said they have the natural mother and then a co-milking mother or something. I don't know how they do it. I don't want to know how they do it. I just know that, as usual, everything the BBC is the exact opposite of the truth. It's not just a lie, it is the anti-truth, a truth black hole. They'll tell you 2 + 2 = 7, and then they'll explain to you why a dozen experts have told them that 2 + 2 = 7, and if you disagree that 2 + 2 = 7, you're pro-Holocaust. That's just the way it works nowadays. Totally logical, and if you disagree, you're a bad person. So, let me know what you think. If you believe that you're missing a trick because you didn't get your dad's milk when you're a nipper, please let me know. I feel like I've been robbed of my childhood. I'll never get over the trauma. All right, thanks to all the new subs the last few days. I think I've been took off the naughty step by our friends at YouTube. So yeah, thanks for turning up. Let me know what you think in the comments as usual, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers.